sleep, a talent that too few people have. Just in time, too. That senseless twaddle was driving me around the bend. People who tell you all about their digestive problems are not the most pleasant folk to share a conversation with. But when they also start to tell you about the effects of the recently enjoyed castor oil, now I can have a little look around in peace. They are secured with snap locks. It wouldn't be a good idea for me to start anything with a whole army. I'd better not wake him. He told me he sat in prison for 15 years for manslaughter because some idiot woke him for something quite trivial. I don't know if it's true, but I am not going to test it. When he's asleep, he looks really peaceful and harmless. It seems to be a strategic map of the Tunguska region. The arrows look like the movement of troops, but I might also be wrong. I always thought you couldn't tell if an egg was fresh or not just by looking at it. I have just changed my mind. Oh, there are the first scientists already. Maybe I can get some information here. However, I should not ask too directly about my father so that no one becomes suspicious. Hello. May I interrupt for a moment?
Psst, not so loud. Dr. Lesniak is working and is really concentrating. We really shouldn't disturb him. Plus, he's in a pretty bad mood.
What happened? Why is the doctor in such a bad mood?
He's under a lot of stress. We are working on a test series, and Professor Sidorkin wants results as quickly as possible.
I understand. And this Professor Sidorkin gets very angry if he doesn't get results quick enough?
Well, he's okay. But Dr. Lesniak is unbelievably ambitious and naturally tries to finish as soon as possible. And when the doctor is stressed out and doesn't have bread and jam, he can become quite unpleasant.
Bread and jam?
Yes, it sounds strange, I know. But he apparently needs it to reduce his stress. Other people beat the heck out of a sandbag. He eats bread and jam.
Well, we all have our own ways and means to deal with difficult situations. And if he gets bread and jam, he gets a bit more sociable?
Yes, it helps. Unfortunately, he accidentally dropped his glass jar on the train platform. And there's no jam here on the train. I've looked everywhere.
I'll be on my way then. If I find any jam, I'll let you know.
That would be great. Working with him when he is in such a bad mood is really not a pleasure.
Hello. I just wanted to see if everything is all right.
What? Oh, yes, everything's okay. Now, let me work in peace.
Yes, whatever you say. Surely I can take one slice. There are chemical formulae written on it. If I had paid a lot more attention at school, I still wouldn't understand them.
Yeah?
Excuse the interruption. Can I speak to you for a moment?
As long as Dr. Lesniak doesn't have a successful breakthrough in his experiments, no.
But
The train can blow up for all I care. I don't want to be disturbed.
it's really...
No!
locked. The door is secured with a huge padlock. If I switch on the light, the nice gentleman there may wake up. I'd better be very careful of him.
Which dumbass turned the light on? If I find out, I'll probably get another 15 years in the slammer.
Oh well, he'll definitely calm down soon. At least, I hope he will. So, I've got the bottle of castor oil. His dirty books and his smelly underwear I will very generously leave where it is. In you go. I'm sure that will be delicious. Or not delicious. Doesn't matter what else I throw in, it's not going to get any better. I think I can say in all confidence that this will be a devastating success. I have just realized that I haven't eaten for ages. I should be careful that I don't inadvertently bite into that. I've got something here for you. Perhaps it will help improve your mood.
This is for me?
Yes, you do like bread and jam, don't you? I made it myself, just for you.
Thank you very, very much. Delicious. But I must have devoured the bread too greedily. My stomach definitely feels a little strange. Thank you anyway. It's delicious.
I'm very happy that you enjoyed it. Has it helped your mood a little?
Yes. I owe you one. If I can ever return the favor.
Then I'll get back to you. Maybe sooner than you think.
Anytime.
Hello. Are the good mood and the ability to concentrate back in gear?
Yep. I'm doing much better. I know that this obsession with bread and jam doesn't exactly speak well for a reputable scientist. It's just one of my quirks. I simply need it now and then.
Yeah, it's okay. We all have our weaknesses. Also, when some have a huge screw loose. What exactly do you do here?
We are studying the regenerative capabilities of certain plants.
Sounds very interesting. How does that work?
The study?
Yes.
We'll both be old and gray by the time I've explained it. Please don't misunderstand me. I don't think you are stupid. But you can't explain it in 5 minutes.
No, that's fine. You're probably right. Would it disturb you very much if I watched you working? I find all of that absolutely fascinating. I also promise not to ask too many stupid questions and not to interrupt.
All right, but don't touch anything. And if you have any questions, I'm sure Alexei will be happy to explain it to you.
Thank you. That's very nice of you. Are you the only scientists on board this train?
No, not as far as I know. Apparently there are a few on board, but the compartments are separated from one another, and the doors are being guarded by soldiers. That's too bad. It would have been interesting to discuss research results among yourselves. Well, hopefully we'll have enough time for that later.
You have no idea which of your other colleagues are on the train?
No. The only person who has a complete list of the scientists and scientific researchers is Professor Sidorkin.
I'll have to get my hands on this list. Then I'll know for sure if Dad is on the train or not, and exactly where I can find him. Who is this Sidorkin?
Professor Sidorkin? He is my direct superior and the scientific director of the biologists. You don't know him? He's an absolute genius in his field. There's hardly anyone who knows more than he does in the field of molecular biology.
Oh, that must have passed me by. Do you think I could talk with him for a moment?
He's right next door. But if I were you, I wouldn't bother him right now. He's under a lot of stress and is extremely irritable. And when I say extremely irritable, I mean even more irritable than me when I have to go 2 weeks without bread and jam.
Wow, that bad. Then I'll be careful. Why is he so irritable?
There are a few problems, but I'm not allowed to talk about it. I have to go back to work now. You'll excuse me. I'm not feeling so well. I must have swallowed the jam and bread a little too quickly. Alexei, please continue working here and tell Sidorkin as soon as you have the right result. I've got to go somewhere and fast. Very fast.
Not much water goes into the bottle, but it's better than nothing. Phew, that was close. I have only just saved humanity from the terrible Dr. Jekyll.
Oh, thank you very much. Working with him is now so much more relaxed. I owe you one. So if you have any questions, I unfortunately can't tell you everything. I hope you understand that.
Of course. I'm happy that I can see your work at all. A soldier who interests herself for science, that's not a daily occurrence, is it?
No, and certainly not someone as pretty as you.
Oh, thank you. What you're doing here looks incredibly complicated.
Really? It's actually quite simple. These plant samples were exposed to radiation that is very similar to the radiation in the Tunguska region. At first the doses were kept rather low, and were then continually increased. I exposed the samples in that device over there to a flame with a constant temperature, and see what remains from the plant.
You burn plants?
Yes, you could say that. We are trying to determine which dosage of radiation no longer leads to the complete deterioration of the cell structure.
Wow, I even understood that.
Well, I deliberately left out 2/3 of the explanations.
Wonderful. Once in my life, I'm proud of my scientific abilities, and you blow the whole illusion apart.
I'm sorry.
What exactly will you be doing at our destination?
You mean in the research station?
Yes, exactly. There. Scientific assistants also seem to be easy to question on an international level. So, it has to do with the research station. Maybe I can squeeze an odd secret or two out of him. What exactly is your task at the station?
Unfortunately, I can't tell you that. Otherwise, the station wouldn't be a secret.
So, it's secret, is it? Very good. Come on, boy, tell me more. Yes, I understand. But perhaps you can tell me something which isn't quite so secret. I have